Well, good morning. I am sitting here in my mosquito prison. You see, stuff's going on with all the mosquitoes. I looked at myself this morning and I had like black spots everywhere. That's because it's all the dead mosquito bodies that I killed on my face. And so yeah, it's a pretty rough one when it comes to mosquitoes. It's pretty intense. I'm trying to figure out how to get out of here without being taken over. I mean, they will take over, but apparently when you wear your rain jacket, that somehow helps as well. I don't have a head net because I gave that one to Boss Bae. Hopefully she'll be wearing it. Today I'm planning to go to a place called Elk Resort or Elk Lodge Resort. It's another place that you can go and get some food. And I've been contemplating about it because it is 1.4 miles off trail, but honestly, I really like to have something like a little reward that helps me kind of keep motivated. And so that's definitely a reward for me to be motivated to get through some really intense mosquito stuff today. I looked at far out comments and it just looks like it's gonna be pretty mosquito-y, meaning that like as soon as you stop walking, they're all over you, even while you're walking. Last night was really intense. So yeah. It's also a little bit frustrating when you have all these mosquitoes because you can't do some of the night chores. Like, it was very difficult for me to be, brushing my teeth and stuff without it really bothering me. I wasn't able to clean my feet, my legs, and I just feel, and you can see, like, I just feel really grimy, and that's really frustrating. So that's another thing I look forward to doing at the lodge. Going in the bathroom and maybe cleaning myself a little bit more. Anyway, so that's like 20 miles of a walk. It should get me there late lunchy. I mean, I don't know, probably around 1 or 2, hopefully. It would be nice to get there around 1, but I think it'll be more, well, it should be because the terrain is really nice, like flat. But of course you have mosquitoes, so it's always like that. It's when one thing is easy, another thing is gonna be hard. So anyway, I'm just enjoying my coffee, and I did get like an apple pie. So anyway, let's get going. And I'm off. Woo, that was intense, but I made it. I don't know about hiking in a rain jacket. That's gonna be really hot, but we'll see. As I'm hiking here by myself in the green tunnel with the mosquitoes present, omnipresent, trying to outrun them, I am reflecting on what kind of hiker I am and what I look for on a through hike when it comes to hiking with other people. And I think the biggest thing is that I look for is, or what I really enjoy is hiking in a two-person kind of thing, like a duo or a partnership, whatever you might call it. I really enjoy that because it does not, it means that there's only two people who make a decision together, and yeah, it's quite enjoyable. I do like hiking with a tramily, which is more than 2 people, but it does get a little bit muddy at times when it comes to decision making, and then a lot of hike your own hike gets affected by other people. No, that doesn't mean that I don't love my tramilies. I do. But it definitely affects hiking. I feel like in a tramily there's a lot more push and pull than there should be. And when there's 2 people, it generally is easier to make decisions and kind of find agreements.
What do I look for when I hike with another person? I really like for them to be able to communicate nicely and effectively. I look for them to be open to making compromises. But what I really enjoy is that when it's two people, we can hike by ourselves. And then what I really like is if we camp at the same spot and kind of agree where to camp, or make decisions as on how to go into, you know, town and things like that. That's really enjoyable when you have one more person, because when you're by yourself, I mean, it's still okay, but I really enjoy having one other person along. So I think I've been trying to figure out, because I am an introvert, but I've lately found myself to be like, am I also like an extrovert? Because I do enjoy being around people, but only like in small doses. And so I think when I have one other person, it kind of satisfies that introvert / extrovert kind of feeling. The biggest problem is finding that person who is willing to be in a partnership with you. But also, it's very difficult to find somebody who hikes the same speed as you, hikes the same distance as you, and wants to do the same things as you. When I did the AT, I ended up hiking with somebody at the end who essentially kind of just did what, you know, I suggested. Like I suggested, hey, these miles, and they were like, okay, yes, let's do that. Now, I was, of course, conscientious that they weren't able to, you know, hike a lot of miles because they were older and maybe not as much in shape. So I did keep that in mind. And, you know, I did compromise with that, but it was more kind of like I wanted to hike this particular distance and they just did it. And and then, of course, you know, some partnerships don't work out because the other partner has different priorities, or maybe they communicated completely differently at the beginning and then changed their mind as they were hiking, and then, you know, communication just lacks and it just dissolves, right? And then, of course, we have a person that you feel like, oh my gosh, this is like the perfect hiking partner, aka, I know you know somewhere. And this person doesn't really want to do it like that. I find that very interesting because I hike the same amount of mileage as she does in general. I'm faster than her, but we always get to be around where we are. When we are in town and end up rooming together, we get along extremely well. She never gets on my nerves, and I hope I don't get on her nerves. And we generally just have such a similar style and thought process. And of course, you have to find a person who's like that, but then you also have to have them want to hike with you. And so it's very difficult to find a partner hiker, because it just, like, every human being is their own person. And so that's what I'm, you know, what's the word, ruminating about while I'm hiking, that it really is kind of a luck thing to find somebody that you can hike with on a long-term basis. And that is why a lot of times on a through hike, you do not hike with the same people, because things are ever changing. Okay, so that looks like a fake deer. Oh, it's not. Ooh. That's pretty. It's so pretty. Wow. I have about 1 mile to the intersection to walk to Elk Lake Resort, and then I have another 1.4 to walk to the Elk Lake Resort. I'm excited. It's like 12:40. I did really well on time. The mosquitoes have been relentless, but I've had a little cell connection. So I'm trying to figure out my stay and bend. There are two different trailheads. One is Mackenzie Pass, one is Santiam Pass. I could get to Mackenzie tomorrow night and Santiam on Friday. So I'm trying to figure things out. I honestly have no idea what to do. Well, look at that, a nice little reprieve. Or I don't know what it's called. Well, I'm going to Elk Resort, but let's see if there's anything in here. Well, this is the PCT over here, and then I'm going over here. I think it'll be a pretty interesting downhill. I'm adding, so I'm gonna do a loop. I'm gonna take this Blue Blaze to Elk Resort, and then I take another Blue Blaze back to the trail. So what that will mean is that I will add about 1.9 miles to my day today. So that's the place I'm gonna go after lunch. And now these two trails, they meet together. Right, so I spent about 2.5 hours at this resort, and now it's back to hiking. Okay, back on the second Blue Blaze that gets me back to the PCT. Should be about 1.5 miles before I get back on. I just saw that the piece that we did on Crater Lake with the Crater Lake exit to Road 138 is now closed. So Crater Lake rim is still open, but it doesn't really matter that it's still open because you are not able to continue on the path to 138. So I'm thankful that I got to hike it, but I am now curious what Boss Bay and Bird Call are going to do. I know they originally wanted to do the road walk from 138, but now they can't even get to 138. So I'm very curious what the plan for them shall be. I honestly don't think there is a way to walk around, but they are very, very skilled in finding a way. So it'll be really neat for all of us to watch it, because I mean, I'm gonna have to watch it when I get home.
And they never apologize.
Wow.
It's a very long. So when you hiked the very first time, we teamed up with somebody from Germany.
All right, I am in my camping spot, and I hiked a little bit at the end of the day with a gentleman named Sonic, and he's from Germany, so we had that in common, which is really nice. And he trail magicked me. Look at this, an incense. Apparently, this helps with the mosquitoes. So not only does it smell fantastic, but I hope this will really take care of these mosquitoes. If it does, he did say, you'll think of me next time you go to the dollar store, and he is not wrong. I definitely will. So far this looks good. So far I only have one mosquito in here, and this one seems to want to get out for dear life. So cool. Bye.